I hope everybody's doing well. Very excited about where we are right now. Long training camp. We finally get down to the final 53, so we're excited about that. So I know you guys have a lot of questions, and with that, I'll take your questions. Not everybody at once.
How challenging was it getting down to the six corners you guys were able to keep, the decisions you guys had to make on it?
It's always tough, and I commend Scott and his crew as well as, Coach Rule and the things that they do. I definitely understand that part of in that role. It's always a difficult part for coaches, because guys you feel like deserve the right to be here and for whatever reason, just a number count. It doesn't happen that way. So happy about the guys we were able to keep, and then also the ones we were able to bring back on the practice squad.
JC is a guy who started camp, comes back in, and then kind of has to regulate, is out. What are the challenges in not having your three top corners available for the bulk of camp compared to how a quarterback needs to throw to his collection of receivers? Is it just important to have your collection of secondary out there?
Well, to be quite honest, we have a luxury that a lot of teams don't have. So to have one guy miss was an opportunity for another guy to get some reps. So we were fine in regards to that. It's a great problem to have when you have three great corners and trying to find the reps and to be able to rotate those guys. I just finished telling those guys that we feel like we're going to play 17-plus games this year. That's our goal. And for those guys to be healthy, we need to have a strong rotation. So I'm excited about the guys that we have.
People talked about your first turn through here, having a lot of, felt like the secondary, especially at safety, was kind of an afterthought for this team in the draft. Now you've got like high draft picks throughout your secondary. Where is the talent level now compared to what you dealt with?
The talent level is there when you look at what we have from a standpoint of two first-round guys at corner, then a second-round guy at safety. It all looks good on paper, but we still got to go out and execute. Evan Cooper, myself, got to go out and do a great job and really putting these guys in position to be successful.
Steve, a lot of people talked about Henderson as a guy who had a really good camp. As you think about him, Dante, JC, how do you deploy those three guys?
CJ had a great camp, and you're right, to have the I don't want to consider it to be a problem. Again, it's a luxury to have those three guys, to be able to rotate those guys in to, teams go 10 personnel. We feel like now we got three corners on the field that can cover. Teams have a great matchup as they do in Atlanta with a tight end like that who's really a receiver. Then all of a sudden now you got those three guys on the field. So it's a great luxury to have. Those guys are talented from a skill standpoint for us playing man, and they've gotten so much better with their zone eyes.
CJ seems like a reserved guy, but he said you invited him to dinner when he first got here, and that resonated with him. Can you just talk about that and that personal relationship that you've developed with him and your guys in the secondary?
I think everything is about relationships, regardless of what profession you guys may take part in. If you're not building a relationship with the people that are around you, and it has to be authentic, to be able to have that connection. So I just wanted to reach out to all the guys as I did, and then CJ and I just went out to have dinner, just trying to get to know him as a person. So we had a great conversation, and it was said to me that he wasn't going to talk a lot, and he had a lot to say, so we had a good time.
What did he say?
We talked about life. We talked about different things, upbringing, his experience at college, those kind of things. So, had a great conversation. It was good.
Coaching guys, how does that help?
I think when you show an invested interest in the guys beyond football, I think they can appreciate that. You got to be able to help those guys to get to a certain level, but also you got to have decent conversation that doesn't always have to do with your eyes and your foot placement, So that's what I try to build, just true, genuine relationships.
Steve, you were with Baker in Cleveland. When he comes here and feels sort of somewhat spurned, do you think a motivated Baker is going to be good for this organization?
Yes, Baker is definitely what I consider to be an alpha male. I said that when I went to Cleveland, leaving Arizona and having an opportunity to go there, I looked at what they had on the offensive side of the ball as a defensive coordinator, and I felt like he was going to give us a chance to win. Like every situation, when he is good enough, as we know, to play in this league and be a starter, that's why we brought him here. But I'm sure he has a chip on his shoulder, as we all do.
You had one of those in Cam, Alpha, now you got one here. What's the difference when you're dealing with that at the quarterback position specifically versus other positions?
I think it just feeds throughout the locker room, when the kind of energy that he has, and most importantly, just the leadership that he showed. So to have that in your quarterback is paramount.
Coach, what are some of the things you see from Jeremy Chin now that you guys are zoning in on him, primarily playing safety as opposed to being more of a hybrid player that he has been in his previous seasons?
Well, I want to say this first of all. We're still going to put Chin in a position to be successful in so many different ways, whether it's blitzing closer to the core. He's so versatile, as you just mentioned, playing out in space. I consider him to be the eraser. You know, you saw that tackle that he made the other day in the open field, and that's what, we talk about all the time. As a big-time safety in the National Football League, you have to make those open field tackles. So he's a guy that I know can make those, as well as have the depth and the range in the post to go make plays on the ball as well.
Free safety Xavier Woods, what has his presence meant to the secondary, and how is he influencing the pace of play right now?
There's times when you watch tape and we call a play that a guy may make a factor. He may not have a direct impact on the play, but as we said as coaches, he had a major impact on it, and we call that a factor. Bringing Xavier here was a factor. You don't really see it every day. His communication, his leadership, his demeanor in the building. He has an old spirit about himself, and just the way he communicates, not only with the secondary, but just throughout the whole defense. He's made Chin better. He's taken a lot off his plate, just being able to be that general back there and organizing and leading the defense. So major pickup for us.
So you're seeing when he puts a guy in the right place and the guy makes said play, you can almost give him a hockey assist there?
If you want to call it that, yes. He made 2 great plays the other night to where he made the quarterback hold the ball. As an average fan, they wouldn't see that, but he got in the window, made the quarterback hold the ball, and all of a sudden we got a sack off of it. So, factor.
Who's he remind you of that you worked with in the past?
When you look at him, I don't like comparisons. I really don't. But, when you look at how smart he is, and the guy that you may remember, Kurt Coleman, just very savvy, older vet, great leader in the room, and just made plays on the football.
Do you view Xavier and Jeremy as sort of interchangeable, or do you think Xavier will be farther from the line of scrimmage?
They're interchangeable in what we do defensively. So sometimes you see Xavier down, Chin back, and then vice versa. So it just really depends on the call, and then most importantly, each week game plan wise.